Gotcha. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Everyone can hear Coach? Okay. We'll start with today's media session. I'll start with Robin Washit.
Hey, Fred, you got an update on Bryce and that ankle injury and how he's doing?
Yeah, Bryce is still pretty sore. He has not practiced the last 2 days, and he's gonna get an extra treatment here this afternoon and an individual workout, and we'll see how he's doing tomorrow. We'll have a film session tomorrow with the late game, and then do our usual walkthrough about 4.5 hours before tip off. So don't know for sure yet on Bryce, but he's still pretty sore.
Hey, Fred. You've talked a bit this season about your team's resilience. I'm just wondering, what do you think it is about their makeup that goes into that, and what kind of response have you seen on practice the past couple days from Wisconsin?
Well, I think the fact that we're an older group that's been through a lot of battles and has been through a lot of ups and downs wherever they've been. And I also think the character and the makeup of these guys as well. And, they've come to practice every day and they have generally prepared very well. Yesterday we really challenged them. We were not good enough in at Wisconsin on the defensive end. The things that we did really well against Indiana with our hand activity, with getting deflections, with turning them over, with getting us out in transition, with fueling our break. We had none of that against Wisconsin, and we have to get back to that. That has to be our constant. Every time we step on the floor is defense and rebounding, and we've taken a step back in that area. As far as how things have gone the last few days, they've gone well. We went a little harder yesterday than we normally do the day after a game. Just we felt we really needed to address some things, and then we had a good physical practice today. A little bit shorter because of the game tomorrow, but when we did our live drills, we went hard just to prepare for the number one team in the country. Obviously, a very physical team, a team that is incredibly efficient on both ends of the floor. And, a team that we're going to have to play pretty much perfect in order to give ourselves a chance. And, again, we did some really good things last year in our own building, and we gave ourselves a chance. And that's what we have to do, is go out there and play consistent basketball for 40 minutes. They exposed us on some things at their place. That's an incredibly difficult place to play at Mackey. But, this is the one chance we have this year with Purdue, only playing them once. And again, we're going to have to play a really complete game to give ourselves a chance at the end.
Hey, Coach, first time that a number one team in the nation has come to Lincoln since 2002. Does that have any meaning to you? And if so, what kind of an opportunity does it present?
Oh, what were they last year? 3 or 4? I mean, it's still, Purdue is, right now they're playing the best basketball of anybody in the country. And, the thing that I've been really impressed with, their starts. They are so good out of the gate. And you look at what they did, I think it was 20-4 in their start against Illinois. And Illinois did a great job. They kept chipping away and kept at it and gave themselves a chance at the end. But, the fact 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I mean, that really doesn't matter. We just have to go out there and hopefully play well enough to give ourselves a chance at the end.
Coach, you said after Wisconsin that the offense was good enough to win the game, but defense wasn't there. How do you shift focus to more defense in practice, but still at the same time want to keep that level of offense efficiency at a high level?
Oh, believe me, we focus on it. And, we do a lot of drills on that end of the floor. And I just didn't think we executed as well as we needed to. And you got to give Wisconsin a lot of credit. They played a very efficient basketball game, and they shot the ball. They hit 13 threes. Guys stepped up in a big way. So, Wisconsin was a big reason for our inefficient defense on Saturday afternoon. Offensively, I liked our rhythm. I liked our flow. I liked our movement. I did not like our turnovers. I thought we got a little sloppy with the ball, and a lot of those were unforced. And turning the ball over 12 times is too many, especially when you have it going offensively like we did, shooting almost 50% overall and from the three-point line, which is hard to do against Wisconsin. They're a very good defensive team, obviously. Same thing against Purdue. We have to have movement. We can't come out and play stagnant. They're too good. They're too long. They're too athletic. And, if we're stagnant, we're going to be too easy to guard. So we have to continue on with the movement that we've had, these last couple games, but we need to improve on that other end of the floor.
Hey, Fred. Yeah, Fred, how much do you have to add wrinkles like to what you're doing defensively as you go through the Big Ten season since teams know each other so well? Or is it just doing better what you doing something, having a focus and just getting better at it?
Well, I think the big thing is we have to do the basics better. And, that's one thing I did not like. And the turnovers led to some break for them. When the Sejan got it going, we tried to, tried to gap him. He's a chase guy. You have to do that 100% of the time, not 75% of the time, or you're going to get stung. With killing the hang pass on a guy like Crowell, who's shooting almost 70% from the 3-point line. We let him get a shot from the top of the key. And, they beat us up, and, they were the more physical team, I thought, on Saturday. And, Purdue, they have not been out rebounded yet. And, they're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. So we're going to have to play with more physicality if we want to have a chance to win this game on Wednesday night. As far as our guys competing, I didn't think it was an effort thing. I just thought there was too many breakdowns. So as far as adding things to our defensive package, we need to be better at the basics. Offensively, we're always adding, and, we've got as long a playbook as probably anybody in the country. But still, the crux of our offense is the movement. And, since we've done that, really since the break, we've been pretty efficient on that end of the floor.
Thanks, Fred.
Hey, Coach. I know it looks like the snow is supposed to stop by tomorrow, but how much are you hoping that the city of Lincoln comes through, gets these rows cleared so you can, pack the building and make it a very intimidating atmosphere tomorrow night?
Well, I know it's going to be a great crowd, and it does sound like that snow is going to stop early in the morning tomorrow. So, the city of Lincoln will do a great job of getting the streets cleared, and, we're going to need a big crowd in our building. And it was phenomenal last year when we played Purdue. It was phenomenal last game when we played Indiana. So, we've been really appreciative of our fans coming, and, I think that's been a big reason that we played, besides the Creighton game, very well in our building. And, we're excited. Our guys are excited to go out and play. I know our fan base is excited, but we need to give them something to cheer about early and get them going, and, hopefully give us that home atmosphere that we need, to beat a top team in the country. But, it's our job, to go out there and get off to a great start and get our fans going early.
So just to clarify, there's been no talk about any disruption or postponement because of the weather and like with Purdue's arrival or anything like that?
No, there has not been.
Okay. Another one. You mentioned rebounding, need to be better at that. And I think Jawan Gary has like 5 rebounds over the last 3 games. What, besides staying out of foul trouble, what needs to happen to get him more involved the way he was, earlier last month?
Yeah, he had 11 offensive rebounds in a game against Kansas State on the road, and he needs to be better, and he knows that, and he's talked about that, and he and I have had that conversation. So he's just got to get back to who he is and really pursue that ball, and have a hunger to go out and get that thing. That's who Jawan Gary is. That's, I think, what fuels the rest of his game, is when he can do all those little things and be a junkyard dog and do all the dirty work for us. And, we need that obviously tomorrow. We need that for the remaining 17 games in the Big Ten Conference, but he'll get it back. And, Jawan is, he can't worry about his shot. He can't worry about, anything on the offensive end. He has to get he's got to do the job defensively and get us extra possessions and be a better defensive rebounder as well.
Fred, when you're facing a guy like Edey and there isn't really anyone like him in the country, how do you prepare for that when there aren't a lot of comparisons?
Well, Henry Burt's done as good a job as he possibly can the last couple of days in practice. But yeah, it's hard, but there's a lot of guys in the league. Probably he's the hardest. There's no doubt about it. You just can't simulate his size, his strength, everything that he does to put your defense in a tough position. But you just do the best job you can. Show a lot of film. We've watched a lot of film as a team. We've watched a lot of individual clips on Edey and what he can do to your defense. He plays games out there. He had a game a couple weeks ago. It looked like he was playing on a Nerf hoop. He's just so dominant in that paint. You just have to do the best job you can of hitting early and, try to do it without fouling, and you just make him take tough shots through the goalposts. And if he makes those at the end of the game, you shake his hand and say, great job. But, you just have to try to make it as difficult as possible. And if you try to go and make contact, by the time he gets to the restricted area, it's too late. You have to make contact early and hopefully make him take tough shots.
Coach, you mentioned Bryce's injury, but CJ and other guys kind of a little bit nicked up. How's the overall health with, CJ in particular?
Yeah, CJ's doing good. He's still a little bit sore with his back, but overall he's doing fine. He practiced the last couple days. Really right now, Rink got hit in the calf. He did not practice yesterday, and we got him about half the reps today, and then we got him out. But that's going to be Rink probably the rest of the year with the procedure that he had on his knee. But everybody else overall as a whole is doing well.
I think it's me, right? Hey, Coach, saw a little bit more of Bryce as the lead guard a little bit in that game. As you look forward, do you anticipate more of that? And then Eli, how's he coming along in terms of more participation from him?
Yeah, Bryce, he has played quite a bit with the ball in his hands the last couple weeks, and we're going to continue to rely on him in that role. He's got good length. For the most part, he's done a solid job with his decision making, and he's got size to be able to shoot over the top when teams go under or they're chasing on a drop coverage. So he's certainly got really good ability, shooting 50% from the 3-point line as well. So if you go under, he has the ability to stop behind the screen and knock down shots. Eli, I thought he gave solid minutes. I thought he got beat on a couple of rebounds. Need more physicality with him, but Eli's a guy that you can put in the game and know that he's certainly capable of knocking out shots when the ball's not going through the hoop. So I've been pleased with Eli, his development, his growth. It's a huge learning curve, for any freshman coming into play at this level. But Eli has gotten better as the season's gone on, and obviously he's getting a chance in most games right now.
This last one for you. Last week, I think you mentioned Blaze Cada ramping up his activity in practice. How's that process been going, and is he anywhere closer to being a factor?
Yeah, I mean, he's continuing to ramp up, Robin. He still has not done any live action on the floor with the team. So, he's still a couple weeks away before we will know if we're going to get him back on the floor at any time in the next month. But he's continuing to ramp up his individual work, and he still has a little bit of pain there. But we're going to get him out there in the next probably 10 days and really test it and see where he is.
Thank you, Coach, for joining us. Thank you, media, for coming on this snowy day. And
Thank
we'll
you,
see
guys.
you tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys.